Hello and welcome to episode 13, post-discussion after show of Gnomes, Tomes, and Catacombs. I'm Devin, formerly Mylixia, going through the name change on Twitch. Finally, after 2 years, I have gotten the username DevinNash thanks to Twitch. Super excited about that. Couple of things before we begin. First of all, we actually have a Discord where we talk about this D&D in real time. And it's and I respond the whole episode. You get all these like insights and stuff in discord.gg/Mylixia. I will change that later or something. But yeah, that's where you go there. Second of all, we have a new YouTube channel where I upload all of this content and more. YouTube.com/DevinNash. You'll notice all that branding is consistent finally for the first time. The YouTube, the Twitter, everything. And lastly, there is Koibu, patreon.com/Koibu0. The legendary DM. This is the first episode where I actually don't want to hype that, but I will anyway, because he deserves it. He's an amazing DM, and he deserves your support, even though I seriously freaking hate him this episode. Good God, that was insane. Totally insane episode. Unreal. That was totally crazy. So we are going to begin. Let's begin with a recap. Let me pull up my sheet. I will recap the episode for you guys, and then we will go through and talk about it. I'll answer questions in chat. Also, the newest episode of Gnomes, Tomes, and Catacombs after the show. So we had a post-show 2 weeks ago with Koibu, and that was a special Q&A from the legendary DM himself. That's up on YouTube right now, youtube.com/DevinNash. Okay. That's it for shoutouts. Let's do the recap of the episode, and I'm happy to talk to you guys. Let's switch to this screen. It's more exciting. Unless it's a black screen. Okay, we're there. All right. When we last left off, beginning episode 13, we are traveling to Fortune, the city of Count Vicious, and we had to travel across the plains from Hillsborough. And we were in search of a magical component to assist us in completing an item set with an item called the Crown of Domination. The item in question is the Philosopher's Stone. It's a shard of a great staff that holds the world together. A single shard can amplify magic to untold degrees, and we are looking for its location, following a lead that we may have heard of it in Fortune. And so to Fortune we travel, and that is where things go pretty terribly wrong. We learn from Devin the driver, who is a stately, well put together man, like all people named Devin, especially with the I spelling and not that inferior O spelling, that there is a pyramid in Heatstroke, a temple to all the gods that was ransacked by demons. In the meantime, this entire countryside is just screwed. It's just blown to bits, to proportion. It's all messed up, and everybody's terrified to be there. And all that's left is Fortune, a town of 7,000 peasants that live in abject poverty, run by a guy named Count Vicious, who took his entire army and marched west for some reason, and we haven't heard from him since. So along the way, we encounter some blinking dogs, teleporting dogs that try to lure Barbo out of the wagon. And a fireball pretty much takes care of all those guys, plus some well-put attacks. And we continue on to Fortune, where we run into a patrol. A patrol by a man named Captain Theoden, who was later retconned to become a woman. But now it was a man when we met him. Or so we thought. He's probably just became a... You never can be too sure. It's 2019 or whatever. So, man or woman, whatever. So, we met her. We met Theoden, and Theoden said, "What are you doing out here?" We said, "Well, we're going to Fortune," and we kind of made a friendship there, and a little bit like Theoden recommended us to a woman who ran a magic shop in town, which we'll never get to meet because of what we did after that. We end up going to the town of Fortune with no further incidents, and we get there kind of late in the day, where we are warned several times that we should probably leave the town. We are told it's a full moon night, and that something bad is going to happen. We don't know why. We don't know what's going to happen. But we decide to stay in the town. We were going to stay in an inn at first, and then we decide, well, why don't we just stay in the town and see what happens? So we created a magical tiny hut as a ritual inside an abandoned building. And we saw a bunch of peasants start to form a mob, and they searched for us, but they couldn't find us. So now we're sitting in this hut with our donkey and everybody, and we're trying to figure out what's going on. And I send Gerald sends his owl out to scout and finds there's this big mob in front of this high cleric outside of this big tunnel. And they're all gathering together, big mob of about 5,000 people. So we go, okay, well, what's going on there? And, this is just the smartest party in D&D. Not going to wait it out. They're not going to take their time. We're not going to make any big brain decisions. What we're going to do is we're going to go out of the only thing providing us total invulnerability from everything, and we're going to go walk over to that crowd just to see what they're doing. In the meantime, Midori has gotten a quest from her goddess. And the quest is to kill the high cleric of this town who has betrayed Varashi in order to practice necromancy. This is very bad. Varashi hates necromancy. So now Midori knows she has to do that quest. We're wandering over to this crowd of 5,000 people, blending in very badly, but there's a couple of quick spells from Gerald to try to make it a little bit more believable, which I think is the only thing that allowed us to not get killed instantly. Oh, and it's worth noting that when we were in the tavern, we talked to Thaden there too, and Gerald played a nice song. And, my bagpipe skills are just not very well appreciated in this town of lowly commoners who raise the dead. There's not a very high class of people, and so they didn't appreciate my awesome bagpipe sound. Never mind that I think the roll was a natural too, which is pretty classic for the Gerald rules of this campaign. Anywho, they didn't really appreciate my song, but Barbo stood up for me in a rare act, and so Gerald got away with it. And so we decided to stay in the town overnight, and then we go to the ritual. So that's where we're at now. The high cleric is like murmuring some crazy stuff, and all the people in the crowd are just like kind of just going along with it. Okay. And so we get up to near the front, and we see that they're hauling bodies into this cave. We don't know why they're hauling bodies in this cave. And about the last body they start to haul in, it's this really big body. So Locke decides to go help them haul this body in to see what's in the cave. And he helps them go in. And sure enough, the cave is full of 10,000 dead people going to try to honor the Eternal Army, which we still don't know much about, apparently. So there's 10,000 dead people in there. Now, Locke ends up stuck in there with a cleric, and the cleric discovers him because he looks really weird because he brought his polearm in, and he has full armor on and really nice pair of boots. So the cleric says, "Who the heck are you?" Locke says, "Your mom." The cleric starts to cast a spell. We're not having any of that. Locke kills him, just outright, just knocks him down. Doesn't kill him, actually. Knocks him down unconscious. Okay. Knocks him down unconscious, and now we're in a bit of a situation. We're in front of 5,000 townsfolk in a horde of 10,000 bodies who could raise from the dead. And the sheriff of the town has heard the commotion and is now coming into the catacombs to figure out what's going on. So the Locke, with his quick thinking, decides to dress up as the cleric. Meanwhile, Gerald casts invisibility on Barbo, Midori, and himself to get into the... I could have cast that spell at level 2 because I was in the backpack. Ugh. Ah! Okay, sorry. Had a moment there. We're back. Okay. Those auto chess analysis replays that I'm thinking of. Okay. So Gerald casts a level 3 invisibility, invisibles everybody in, and goes into the catacombs. After a while, we find Locke. Gerald eventually uses his owl to kind of like locate everybody and get everybody in the same place. Midori, before breaking her invisibility, ends up using her Death Cleric ability to kill the High Cleric, fulfilling Varashi's wishes. Meantime, Gerald stays invisible. Barbo brings a sword to the throat of the sheriff who finds us. And in the last second before he can kill him, the sheriff summons the dead all around us. And now we are in a 10-foot catacomb surrounded by dead with 5,000 people outside. It is at this point that I am certain that we are going to TPK, and this is the last episode of Gnomes, Tomes, and Catacombs. There is almost no way out of this. And Koibu actually told us later that there was a party that died the exact same way doing this. So about 2 rounds go by, and I am thinking real hard about how to get out of this. For most people know, I've played Dungeons & Dragons for thousands of hours. I had a legit Greyhawk level 23 wizard that I played all the way through 4 years of high school, and played in many campaigns all around the country in what was kind of like the predecessor of Pathfinder. So I had a registered character that could play on all these campaigns, and we tracked the EXP and everything. So I know a bit about wizarding, but even this situation I could not think my way out of, and even on Discord we had no real idea of how we were going to get out of the situation. So I passed 2 rounds invisible because I wanted to see how the fight would progress, and sure enough, Koibu was spawning undead every round. So there was no real way that we were going to get out of this cavern without a fireball, but the fireball was going to have to hit our whole party. Now, a fireball is 8d6, so if we roll at 8d6, it can do a maximum of 48 damage, which can wipe everybody in the party. They can save against dexterity, but everybody failed. So everybody took full damage, but it was enough to only knock out Midori and I. Just insane luck. I think I rolled a 32, some 32 damage. So we clear out the cavern of all the dead, and we run towards the exit, while Locke drags me behind and Barbo drags Midori. And then we get to the exit only to find a vampirist noblewoman who Barbo tries to intimidate and fails, and the woman attacks. But Locke, in an epic moment, picks up Midori's blessed greatsword that she called to Varashi to bless, and manages to kill, with Barbo's help, the vampirist noblewoman. And now we go out into the crowd, which has dispersed. We don't know why, but they have dispersed, and there's only about 10 of them left. So Locke steps up and says, I'm going to kill 8 of you, so that 2 of you can run and tell the rest to come here so I can screw the rest of you up. Intimidation roll succeeded. They scatter, run towards the gates with the last of the peasantry trying to bar our way. Another intimidation, I think, is what happened there, right? Yeah, I think another intimidation gets us out of the town and to the encampment where Captain Theoden is waiting for the whole thing to pass in the town. And we convince Captain Theoden, at this point Midori and I are out of the episode and have been for about the half hour. We convince Captain Theoden to join us for 500 gold and break their contract on the account of Fortune being super messed up. And so ends the episode 13 of Gnomes, Tomes, and Catacombs. Oh, okay. And that is the recap. So, I don't even know. It feels like we top this show every single time. That was just insane. Would Koibu just have let you guys wipe if Fireball hadn't saved it? Yes, I knew he was not pulling punches there. He really did intend to kill the party. Yeah. So we are no further off from our quest because we ended up killing everybody. And one of the things we discussed as a party afterwards was that we really do need a party leader, and I really, really hope that's going to be Locke because the decision making in this party sometimes is rough on me. Oh man, that was a heck of a stressful episode. There were definitely a lot of different ways to solve that problem. I guess I just play D&D differently, where I play it more like Shadowrun, where D&D is like an information collecting game, and then you make a decision based on the most informed thing you can do, and then you make a decision. So I will never be the leader of this party because I'll always get talked over. So it's I'll never be the leader of this party. I'm going to volunteer Locke if I can volunteer anybody for sure. So the thing is, while I do make the correct decisions, it makes for a pretty boring show. So if we're just literally considering everything the correct way and never running in and doing anything, like I think me as a party leader would be pretty boring. I'm trying to think of a way this could have gone worse, and I can't think of a worse decision the party could have made in this situation. How can you do worse than get myself surrounded by an entire army? You can't do worse than that. That was how my level 23 wizard died. I was surrounded by an entire army. Yeah, we made the worst decisions possible in that episode for sure. And the thing is, as Gerald, I just feel like I have very little agency over the decisions that we make, because whenever I talk, it's just like, shut up, gnome. And then it's like, okay, it's shut up, gnome, you're useless anyway. Even though my wizard spells have literally got us out of every bad situation that we've been in except the giant skeleton, which Locke legitimately did. But every single other one, not even to mention all of the out of combat stuff that we do. Okay, I am literally the most unappreciated person on this in this freaking party. Okay, what if I go on strike? What if I stop casting spells? No appreciation here. Do you need to start sleeping them when they talk back? Maybe. Do you think Gerald will be willing to go back when he wakes up? Sure, I'm down. We will definitely not return to Fortune. Fireballing the peasants at the beginning would have been less bad. It probably wouldn't have been less bad. Probably would have been as bad or more bad. Do you think you'll be able to convince people to not literally immediately run into sketchy situations? Nope. I think it will require a party wipe. Eventually, they're going to keep making decisions like this, and it will just kill the party, and the show will be over. I would put my chips on that happening. It's like when the unstoppable force meets the immovable object. What's eventually going to happen? Koibu is a vicious DM, and honestly, like, I don't know if you guys feel this way. This is how I feel. The way we've been getting out of these situations is just good rolls. It's literally luck. That's all it is. It's just luck. So eventually luck is going to run out. We're going to roll badly. Like, you just go back through all the things, like the giant skeleton, where it's like we ended up getting the perfect roll to not get the party wiped, or the bone naga, where it was like the exact like roll we needed, or like the undead, where it's like the fireball happened to not kill two people, so we actually got out. Eventually, we're going to fail a roll, and then this play style is going to get punished, and we're all going to wipe. Like, I would say it's 2 episodes, 3 episodes. I don't know. What do you think? Yes, I will talk about Gerald's decision to go to War Magic. So Gerald is removing the Illusionist School, and he is going to be going towards becoming a Warcaster. The reason for that is that Warcasting is just better, and I will never have the opportunity in this campaign to run illusion spells, because the real illusion magic begins at like level 13. Whereas War Magic and Warcaster, you get most of your benefits at level 6, which we are at right now. So one of those really good benefits is the second Warcaster ability gives you +5 to initiative, which is great for us because wizards going first is always a good idea. And me going first means I can make better decisions to try to eliminate party death and stuff like that. Were you surprised that the fireball hit the party in the end? No, I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was doing. I mean, there's some argument for this playstyle. It makes a hell of a show. And if we get 20, that's the thing. Is like, some people are like, yeah, you should be the party leader. I'm like, okay, maybe. But if I'm just making like the most boring decisions where we like literally the way I play D&D is like gather information, make the most intelligent move. Gather information, make the most intelligent move. If we get in a fight, prepare for it super well, have everything set up, and we can't lose, right? Like I play D&D that way. Is that really what you guys want to watch? Do you want to watch 25 or 30 episodes of that? Or do you want to watch 15 episodes of like us surviving from 1 HP and like doing some like epic stuff and things like that, right? So like, that's the thing. Like, this makes for some really crazy content, and the play style of this game, that's why I would not nominate myself as player leader. I think at the end of the day, you would want that really crazy play style. It's certainly entertaining. It's way better. Maybe you could have a rotating team leader. I don't like that idea because we will wipe as soon as we get to Barbo. 6th level War Mage is not a super ability. What are you talking about? The first 2 are what I'm taking it for. Power Surge is not that good. Yeah. Switching to War Magic makes the most sense for Gerald to do because Gerald has been using mostly combat spells. So the only real paths are Evocation and War Magic. There is some debate over taking Evocation because it is a pretty strong school. When you cast an evocation spell that affects other creatures, you can choose a number of them equal to 1 plus the spell's level. The chosen creatures automatically succeed on saving throws and take no damage if they would normally take half damage. That's pretty good. And then at 6th level, we have damaging cantrips affect even creatures that avoid the brunt of the effect. When a creature succeeds on the saving throw against your cantrip, the creatures take half the cantrip damage, but suffer no additional effects from the cantrip. Yeah, that's not bad. So these are the two spells these are the two abilities that we would get. Sculpt spells is pretty good because I can drop fireballs on the center of the party. I don't know. Maybe I'll think about that. I really do like Warcaster a lot because, or War Magic School, I think. Yeah, I'll think about it. I have a whole week to do it. I know divination is the strongest. I will not actually take divination because it doesn't make sense for Gerald. And there's just no way I can like really justify that in character. Gerald hasn't really done anything that like is like very divine. So the two first abilities for the School of War Magic are S tier. Arcane Deflection gives you a +2 bonus to your AC, which is not that great because you already have shield, but that +4 bonus to a saving throw, that's crazy. That's really, really good. And Tactical Wit, your keen ability to attack tactical situations like act quickly in battle. Give yourself a bonus to initiative equal to your intelligence modifier. Intelligence modifier is 5 for me, which means a +5 to all initiative is crazy good, including +2 to dex, so that's a +7 to all initiative. It's really, really, really good. Did you know that the cleric you killed is pretty much a named character in the universe? We've killed a lot of named characters. If the party wipes, what happens? I assume the show is over. How would you have reacted if you actually killed everyone with your fireball? It was the best decision to make in that circumstance, so that was all there is to it. It's either gonna, the option is we die and we end the episode, or I fireball and I kill everybody and we end the episode. How much of an impact do you think Gnomes, Tomes, and Catacombs will have on the greater world of Kobold? I think it'll have quite a bit of a change. Koibu has already said that the stuff that we have done has massively impacted the world. Come to Shenanigans games on Saturdays at the Party Works. Yes. Yeah, Koibu's world is consistent. If you didn't know, the world of Arcadia is a persistent place. So the people we're killing are NPCs sometimes that have been used for years, like the High Cleric in Fortune. Even the Vampirist noblewoman had stats. Could have been Vicious's wife or something, I don't know. Do you think it was better to stay and rest in the catacombs or actually leave? It was 100% better to leave, because if we had casted Tiny Hut, first of all, I'm out of spells, so it would have taken 10 minutes, but if we had casted Tiny Hut in the catacombs, then we would have summoned 10,000 undead, and we would have, they would have either, I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do to a, like, if you really want to game on a hut, there's a lot you can do. You can pile rocks on it, right? You can just literally just collapse the entire tunnels and entryways, and then it's over. I mean, like, you're gonna die in there. You just starve to death. How do you stop from metagaming in D&D? I don't know. Metagaming is a huge meme. It's okay to metagame a bit. It's not okay to like metagame like blatantly, but the way that chat riffs on us for doing it is just D&D fanboys, typical stuff. This is neat. This is neat. Evocation versus War Magic. I still think that War Magic is stronger as a coded ability. I think people don't realize how good this was. It's just stronger in a more boring way. Dropping a fireball in the center of your party and nobody taking damage is pretty pog. Potent Cantrip is okay. I mean, it's like all right. It means Toll of Dead does 1d10 instead of 2d10. Fireball just misses anyway. So what is this really a good ability? It's pretty bad. What does Treant Monk say about it? Well, War Magic's actually a better, like a lot of people will not realize how good +5 initiative is, +7 initiative is. I think at the end, Koibu definitely wanted us to wipe there. We had made enough bad decisions. Yeah, so he thinks it's pretty bad, and I agree. Yeah, I don't think I recommend a single damaging cantrip that provided a save to avoid damage. This doesn't change my lack of recommendation of those spells. So the only way that Potent Cantrip actually works is Toll the Dead. Means that if they succeed in the save against it, it does 1d10 versus nothing. So that's not good. The Sculpt Spells ability is really the only thing here, and War Magic is just better. War Magic is super good. The +4 saving bonus is so good. To give you guys an example of how good that is, that would have saved us from the fireball, and we would have stayed up. That's how good that is. It's ridiculously good. The int bonus to initiative makes us go first every time. So like a wizard going first, how do I even explain how good a wizard going first is, okay? Like, let's explain it through paint, okay? Let's say that the party is here, and then the enemy is here, which is how most fights start, right? We're going to Bob Ross this up, okay? And the warriors like are going to move in. That's not an arrow. On their turns. But if I go first, I cast a fireball on this area, right? Before anybody comes in, and we immediately damage the party. We damage the enemy. Or, I mean, like, there's just so many things I can do. There's so many things that you can do if the wizard controls the fight first. You can't really stop metagaming, especially if you're like Devin and have been playing D&D for years and just know stuff. Bad metagaming looks like stats for an enemy you've looked up in real life. Yep, and Koibu customizes all of his characters, so we can't do that anyway. Usually, I already know like how difficult a lot of the encounters are going to be generally, but I never talk about it really. For a lot of people say that I metagame, but I actually metagame a lot less than I really could. If your team is more tactical, you don't need to go first. So there are a lot of words that I would use to describe my party. Tactical is on the list of the last words I would use to describe this party. So I think it's a pretty good idea that I go first. Okay? The only tactical word that I would describe is that half of this party plays like a tactical nuke, dropping on themselves. Have you considered role-playing more of a hardened character now after this near wipe? I can't. I mean, I don't... The show is fun, okay? Like, if we all die next episode and that's the end of Gnomes, Tomes, and Catacombs, it's been a great run. I could play an asshole character that, like throws my weight in with the party and whatever. That's not what I want to do. I mean, I'm here to provide enjoyment to people and make a good show. And Gerald was made as a comedy, kind of second off comedy guy that just is just an enjoyable person. So I'm not gonna play a hard ass or whatever. If we die, we're dead. I guess I'll die. That's it. You can't use spells on your next turn after using deflection. Very true, but if it gets anything that so you guys know how careful I play. Anything that I have to save against, that I have to use this for, is going to be worth giving that up for, because I'm going to lose my next turn anyway. If I fail that save. Do you think Koibu is having a good time dealing with the shenanigans, or do you think he gets annoyed a lot? Koibu is a professional. I can see sometimes with certain party members he has a little bit of difficulty, but he is a consummate professional. Koibu knows what he's doing, and I have full faith in Koibu. I think he's just fine. Yeah, so by the way, the reason why I decided to break invisibility there and cast the fireball was because I knew that if I didn't die, I could use the gnome. This is something I haven't used in the campaign yet, but I'm planning to bust out when the time is right. I have a gnome ability called Fade Away, which is pretty strong. It's a feat that I took, and what it does is it's super powerful. You increase your dex or intelligence by 1 to a max of 20. And after you take damage, you use a reaction to become invisible until your next turn, or until you attack, deal damage, or force someone to make a saving throw. So I could have gone invisible again and gotten out of there. Devin, I can't wait for find out Midori's secret quest. Yes, and by the way, the party itself doesn't know anything about Midori's secret quest. So the only people that know are Koibu and Midori. Fucking Mr. Mutant is always going off with some level of shenanigans. Love playing with the guy. He gets the party into all sorts of trouble with me, but he memes so hard so often I just can't keep up. Yeah, I don't know how you deal with it. I have to... I was going crazy this episode, especially because I couldn't talk. So it's like I'm sitting there just unconscious, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting crazy, man. But like you said, yeah, it makes the hell of a show, but it drives me absolutely crazy, yeah. And I mean, it's like the rolls are just so insane. The rolls are so insane. It's just natural 20s at one after another to do this crazy stuff, which just encourages him to do even more crazy stuff. And the problem is that what's going to eventually happen is he's going to rope us. It's okay if he does it and then he dies. That's fine. That's totally okay. But what happens is that he rolls us into it, and then we all die. I don't know how that episode could have been any worse. Do you enjoy the campaign? I love the campaign. I mean, my biggest problem with it is the time slot. So I have a full-time job as CMO of Nerd Fusion, and I also stream full-time. I stream every day at 9 a.m. PST. So I was up at 7 today. I worked from, I actually took my girlfriend to the hospital at nothing serious, just like just a thing she had to do. And then after that, I was working up until 5 or 6. And then I start this. So it's like I'm on like the end of like a 14 to 15 hour day on Wednesdays, so it's tough for me. But I love the show. You know that Roll20 is not a true random number generator. It has been shown to be unbalanced. Really? I don't like the memes. I hate the memes. Memes are bad. I agree. Yeah. I also think the praying to the god stuff, don't know about that. I pray to my god to get out of things. I don't know. Type of thing. The reason why I didn't want to go with the god play, I considered, I was like going along with it the last episode. I was like, wait, this is dumb. It wouldn't make any sense for Gerald to do. It would make much more sense to advance into another school of magic and just like take that. It's not very powerful. I lose my illusion abilities, but it's like, whatever. I don't want to be like praying to a god or whatever. Wizards are strong enough. +5 initiative is strong enough. There's no such thing as true RNG. Everything uses a seed. That's why you see so much consistency. Is that true? So am I doomed to roll badly for the entire show? Because that sounds crazy bad. Like, I'm going to roll a new account if that's the case, okay? 100%. I'm rolling another account. That can't be right. Oh, it resets per session? There's no way, guys. There's no way I'm doomed to terrible luck on Roll20. I don't believe it for a second. But there is something to be said. Like, I mean, Lucas is rolling perfect 20s, like, constant. It could just be luck, but he's rolling, like, perfect 20s over and over and over again. So how is that happening? What matters most is rolling high performance checks on your bagpipes. Can we talk about my bagpipes? What is going on here, okay? Why is it that every single time, all I want to do is I want to put on a show for some people, okay? I want to be the friendly gnome that plays a nice Johnny tune for the destitute peasants in a town. And I roll a 2? I roll a 2? What is happening here? Every time, man. Like the last 6 epic chances I have had to put on a bagpipe performance, it just doesn't happen. It's not even like that I have like a bad roll to it. My performance check is literally just a 0. It's just the roll. My performance check should be an int check. I should big brain that stuff so much that I should be able to change it to an int check. That's what should happen. One thing I'm certain of is I'm definitely going to get Warcaster after that fireball, man. And I know a thing or two about casting in war. If there's anything, being surrounded by 10,000 undead, if there's any kind of thing about being in a war, I know a thing or two, okay? Frickin' Gerald went Jocko Willink on that shit. That was insane. Randomness is seeded always, but you're very well developed pseudo-random number. This is too big brain for me. I don't know. Point is, I roll bad. Mutant rolls good. I should fix it. Cloud of Daggers would not really have helped us in that catacomb. That would have been a not good, like, first of all, we have to walk through the Cloud of Daggers later. Maybe it would help us from behind. We weren't getting out of that. We were going to keep fighting until, I mean, he was spawning like 6 monsters around. It was insane. When I realized that was when I was like, there's nothing doing here. We're done. Dragon's Breath is actually not an AoE attack, even though it really sounds like it should be. It is a single target attack. Oh, no, I'm wrong on that. It's a cone. And it's 3d6. So that's 18 damage max. So, oh, yeah, we could have potentially gotten out that way. But I don't know. I think that Midori was taking so much damage. That was like the real concerning thing to me. It was like the zombies were tough. They were tough enough that they could hit us. So they could hit us with like medium rolls, you know? Like all those zombies were probably like CR2-ish, CR3. They were pretty tough. So I think we could, I don't think we could have lasted that long. I feel like Locke could have soloed it. I don't think so, man. I think the whole party would have wiped. That sounds crazy to me. That situation was bananas. And the thing is, like, Koivu was just not pulling punches, dude. He was grabbing. He was restraining. So every attack that the zombies got, they were also grabbing. So once Locke got restrained, he would have taken every attack at disadvantage. And then he would have just got mobbed. And there's 1,000 of them. And then you run into the vampire? Locke's good, but he's not that good. Like, that was one of those situations where I couldn't have even cheesed my way out. We were just, that was why I was so, if you guys saw me, like, during the rounds before I was fireballing, it was like I was in the situation room. I was like sitting there, like, I was like using everything that I could. I was thinking so hard about how to get out of that situation. I was like looking at every spell. I was like, what is there I can do? And there was nothing I could do. There was no way I could do that. I didn't even have Cloud of Daggers prepared. That wouldn't have mattered. I had Dragon's Breath though. Yeah, it was, it was, you were deciding to nuke the country or not. Yeah. No wonder why Destiny wants Tunnel Fighter. It'd be super good versus masses. There's no way that Koibu's gonna approve that, okay? Everything from Unearthed Arcana is really stupid. You excel at defending narrow passageways, doorways, or tight spaces. As a bonus action, you can enter a defensive stance that lasts till the start of your next turn. While in defensive stance, you can make opportunity attacks without using your reaction. You can use your reaction to make a melee attack against a creature that moves more. Yeah, no. This is so stupid. There's no way. The solution is always Fireball. I think Koibu doesn't, he can rule on it. I don't think that he allows, I don't think he allows Unearthed Arcana for the most part. The book was not balanced to be, was not made to be balanced. It was made to be ridiculous. What spells does Midori even have? I don't really know the situation there because I think she's like granted certain spells from her domain. Have to bluff your way across a guard. Is there just Fireball? Speak with the dead. I guess you could ask them to stop. Dispel magic, I think in certain universes works against undead, but only a single target. That would not be good. Yeah, hey guys, can you just like stop attacking us? That'd be cool. This is good. Isn't this the one? No, it isn't. I'm thinking of Circle of something. What's the protection from negative energy? No, there's like some protection spell where undead can't enter your circle, maybe? Her spell list is here? Okay. She really should get... Well, actually, I don't know if she should get all of her spells. Yeah, these are useless. I guess she could calm emotions, show them a nice commercial, try to make them a little bit more chill. Hey, guys, can you chill out? Like, you don't have to be angry. Speak with the dead is pretty worthless, too. It makes sense that she's restricted because she changed gods, yeah. Changing gods is a big deal. She has to prove herself to Varashi. She should get some, like, so I'm reasonably confident we're going to level to 6 at the beginning of next campaign. So I'm pretty sure she's probably going to get some pretty great stuff. As for Gerald, I think I get fuck all. Power Surge is kind of neat. I mean, I could add a couple of damage to my spells. That's okay. It's not that great. Malleable Illusion is useless for Illusionist. 5e Wizard. Oh, no. My proficiency bonus doesn't even go up. It's not very good. We now have 3. Yeah, this is so bad. 6th level is probably the worst level up for wizards. We literally only get 1 extra spell slot at 3. So an extra fireball. That's nothing to scoff at, but it's bad. 6th level is very bad for wizards. The 7th level, which if we reach in this campaign, I think we might max the 7th level. Is where I hope so, because that would be fun. I wasn't planning on using 7th level those spells in those campaigns, but oh man, if the wizard gets the oh man, we get 1 spell slot, and all of them are insane. The most powerful spell, Dimension Door, is so good. There's such a cool combo you can use with Dimension Door. Actually, they used it in the last episode of Critical Role. I think is it Thunderwave? No, it's Thunder Strike or whatever the spell is. But the play is, what you do is you Dimension Door to a party member. Then as a bonus action, you Thunder Strike, Thunder Step, and then teleport out because Thunder Step allows you to touch 1 person. So you Dimension Door to the person, put your hand on them, whoo, and then Thunder Step out. Everybody takes damage around it, and your party member's saved. It's a super cool spell combination because you can Thunder Step as a bonus action. It's really neat. Or Misty Step, Thunder Step, or something like that. Yeah, there's some way to do that. But there are so many. The thing is, like, 4th level spells actually aren't as good as 3rd level spells mostly. Black Tentacles is pretty damn good. 20-foot square and everything gets restrains and takes 3d6. That gets pretty nuts. Banishment is just pretty good. It's just really good against a single target. Because the idea is you can banish and then surround someone with readied actions. And if you're fighting a demon or something, they're literally just gone. But again, you get 1 spell slot. Phantasmal Killer is actually okay. I wonder what Treant Monk says about 5e spells. Or level 4 spells. I think generally they're not that great. You need banishment to fight all the demons? I mean, I'm like, I cast banish on 1 demon. Okay, I go to sleep. Yeah, banish is good. Dimension Door is amazing. Evard's Black Tentacles I think deserves a higher rating. 3d6 per round for everything that is restrained. Watery Sphere can restrain a large creature up to 4 medium or small creatures on a failed strength save. That sucks. Strength save's bad. But good battlefield control. Summon a greater demon from the abyss of challenge rating 5 or lower, which you get to pick. You get to issue verbal commands that require no action. The demon gets a Chaw save every round to break your control. If it does, it starts attacking all non-demons, including your allies. But the closest first. If you lose control, you stop concentrating the demon 6 round for 1d6 rounds because you can't tell it what to do. This ends up significantly better than the Summon Lesser Demon spell, even for the level. A Balgura is CR5, has a Chaw save of -1. And is going to be your best option. Shadow Demon is another option, but Chaw save is +4. If you have Volos, the Babao is a decent choice with a +1 save and some very neat at-will spells. Good resistance to HP. How it's CR4 and the Balgura is CR5 is beyond me. Tanaruk is a CR5 with a Chaw of 1. If you learn a demon's true name, it gets disadvantage on the saves. It's been pointed out to me that commanding the demon to tell your name is actually just a fantastic thing to do right from the beginning. Yeah, that's actually true. That's great. So that's a potential spell, and I think Koibu would like that spell because it can go horribly wrong. He's already tried to give us summon demon spells, I'm pretty sure. So it's a pretty strong spell. It's a good use of 1 slot. If we have 1 slot, and I need to cast 1 slot of spell, Summon Greater Demon would maybe be the spell to do. And yeah, but it only needs to save once. And that's not great. But it has to save versus my spell DC, right? Which is really high. My spell DC is like 15 question mark. So a -1 at 15. Yeah, favor is for me on that one. Fire Shield, what's that do? I think there's a very good chance that we never get to this. Because by the time, I think we're all going to die before we get to level 7. 10 minutes. Warm or Cold Shield. Gets you resistance to that damage type and everything that attacks you takes 2d8. It's pretty good. I like that. It's okay. Wall of Fire. Pretty decent spell. That is something that I would probably prepare. That would have been awesome in that last encounter. Would you recommend watching other Koibu campaigns? Yes. Dicing with Death is excellent. I cannot wait. I'll put it this way. I'm going to watch like every Koibu campaign as soon as this series is done. I'm not watching them because I don't want to spoil my own show because of Arcadia. So, but as you guys are not being spoiled, absolutely watch this. I'll watch his other campaigns. It is a ton of fun because you will know more than us. Like, there's a lot of people in my Discord when we're chatting that know a lot more than I do because they know the whole lore. So a lot of people knew what was going on in Fortune, and we had no idea. And that's like kind of extra fun that you know something the party doesn't if you watch Koibu's other episodes. You definitely watch it. Resilient Sphere, I think, casts. It's a really good option. That may be something we take too. If it looks like we need like defensive stuff. Greater Invis is great, but just in the context of having one. Oh, is Polymorph level? Oh, we take that. Is that really level 4? These are cleric spells. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, Polymorph is one of the best spells in the game. Yeah, okay. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, we take Polymorph. That spell is insane. Like, I literally turned Lock into a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And I think the way that Polymorph works, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure what happens is If his HP is reduced to 0, he just comes back at full HP as Locke, right? I think that's right. Yeah. Polymorph is so good that like Koibu has to rebalance the entire game around that spell. So yeah, we'd take Polymorph, and I would poly him into something ridiculously good. So if Polymorph is CR7, we're level 7. That's a lot we can do with that. So yeah, I would take 2 spells. It would probably be Polymorph, and it would probably be, I would say, the second one is What's Up in the Air, but either Resilience Sphere or Greater Demon. Yeah, are great. Thing Misty Step is good. We already have Dimension Door, so we should be okay. We are talking about Gnomes, Tomes, and Catacombs, the D&D show that I am on every Wednesday at 6 p.m. PST. Unless Destiny's in New Zealand or wherever he is on his various escapades. There was a legendary moment in an old campaign when a party got to a boss that Koibu had been hyping for like 15 weeks. The party polyed the boss into a duck and it just insta-died. Wait, but wouldn't... that doesn't make any sense, right? Because wouldn't he just pop back up after he's out of his duck form into what he was before? Oh, it's 2E. Okay, yeah. Oh, I'm very aware of how powerful Polymorph was in 2E. It was busted. Yeah. Do you think there will be consequences for Captain Barbo because he failed his persuasion with inspiration from Ephra nearing the end of today's session? God, I hope so. Consequences for Barbo are great. My YouTube is youtube.com/DevinNash. We will try to have this episode of GTC and episode 13 post discussion up on YouTube by tomorrow at the latest. youtube.com/DevinNash is the channel. Thank you guys so much for coming out for this stream. Thank you for all the follows. Again, the Discord link is still my Elixir. If you want to join in there, really, there is a chat that goes on live every Wednesday with like the real stuff that's like happening on the show. It's pretty crazy. You get some like insights into like what we're doing, and like you get to kind of influence the show in a way because I'm like making decisions. I stream every day at 9 a.m. PST, so please come support me. Thank you guys. Man, this has been crazy. Whew. I gotta go chill for that. That was insane. That street, 2 streets, I see you and me hanging on the empty swings.